We've covered money. By now, people should be saying to themselves, doesn't matter what form money takes, as long as we're capable of quantifying value and making sure that, well, we can recognize that whatever value is being delivered to myself, an equal amount of value was delivered to someone else in the history of trade. In fact, that second component right there, that's our justice factor. I think of justice as the state of equity. There aren't any unmet claims against value. Or just an idea, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying that there aren't any unmet claims against something, and in this case, it's value. So if I'm getting an equal amount of value that someone else got in the history of my involvement within trade, then why not live in a society where people are also completely informed about value itself? So that we can just move on, because here's what I'm saying. We produce things and we consume things. In order for this to happen, for the producers and the consumers to meet in the middle, they just need to see value equally. See, right now we live in a system where people on both sides manipulate one another to observe or perceive value differently. And it's because of that, well, if you're selling something to someone who is overvaluing something, when I say overvaluing something, it means that they don't quite know exactly what it's going to take in order to pass that kind of value on to someone else, you're going to bankrupt them. And even though you might have gotten what you wanted out of the deal, what you're doing is creating a sluggishness on the economy by bankrupting them and then causing them to be a liability for everyone else. So it's more important to get people on the same page as it concerns value by not mandating prices for everything and causing people to trade using that information, because that's socialism. Dictating prices is socialism. What we need to do is enable the free market to work as efficiently as possible by getting folks to have universal access to the most immediate and most accurate information about value in an economy at any time and against any period or any section of the economy they're looking for. And with a system clock, which is being applied to equal currency in the form of observing how the change in ownership of value with respect to time occurs, we can do that. We can provide universal, and we will provide universal access to information about what is the price of everything. Because after all, when this guy or girl gets to producing whatever it is that they produce, and this consumer is ready to purchase whatever goods and services is being provided, in order for that transaction to occur, they need to see value equally. And to do so in any other way that doesn't have the truth just ends up becoming, well, nothing more than a brake on the entire system. Get people to trade more expediently, and you can get people in and out of the cycle of production and consumption so that we can just live our lives much easier. And with the spreading around of value, moving around more quickly, we can get people, and you folks that that are investment bankers, and you folks in the hedge fund business, we know you make your money from arbitrage, which is, for those of you who aren't in that business, it's just finding someone who is either overvaluing something or undervaluing something and taking advantage of one's ignorance of information. Let me put it this way. Finding a discrepancy in price within a market means that you can stay in the arbitrage business, but the only way that that business stays profitable is if you have access to a great deal of capital, or in other words, money, or in other words, value. So you lock up all that value so that you can take advantage of some, poor man or woman who doesn't know really what is the value of something, and you wait to make that trade, so you take advantage of the absence of information with respect to value on someone's behalf, and now you've made a pretty penny that you can only do with a great deal amount of capital, or money, or value. You're bottlenecking value when you do that. In fact, That's all value that could be used to delivering value and meeting the needs and wants of the folks around you. The folks who need a way to get up and moving, and there are plenty of needs and wants out there that can yet satisfy both the values of the people who are in a state of waiting to consume the right goods and services, and to also the people that are supplying it. You just got to get more creative, and you're not going to really have a choice if and when people adopt the system clock, because again, information about value itself is going to be made available to absolutely everyone. So speculation, the stock market and all that stuff, sorry. We are going to actually know what it's going to cost to purchase a return. Because really, that's what you're interested in when you're purchasing a security, is that you're purchasing access to a return, a profit. And so in a system where we have access to information about profit or return from a particular entity, and as long as people are using digital credits and we're seeing how much gross profit is being earned by those organizations that want to share that information so that they can attract more capital, it's just going to be obvious what people are going to want to pay for it. That's it. So I'll talk about the system clock now, but as long as you're aware, we're all going to know what the value is of just about everything. As long as we have access to it, right? We're going to make sure that everyone has anonymity if they want it. But we need to know the prices of things so that we can get an economy moving more quickly. And we also need to make sure that people can ensure that their commitments are being honored, just as they have honored their commitments to other people, back and forth. You know what I'm saying. All right. So here's the system clock.